David.
What's with the voice?
I know.
Is that
This is my voice. This is my voice, my McGraw voice. I saved it just for you.
Is this your
No,
you battling
have,
a cold or something?
Well, my 4-year-old, who loves me very much, was kind enough to give me a gift of the disease she picked up in her summer camp. Whatever that was.
Yeah.
That's so nice.
Well, she's such a
really
sweetheart.
sweet.
Yeah, there
She
you
is.
go. All right, entertainment editor, entertainment movie guru, our guy. Let's get to, first of all, Into the Storm. Sounds and looks like it's the 2014 version of Twister.
Yes, we like to call this Twister Light. It stars a whole bunch of people you never heard of, or a bunch of people where you sit there and say, I know that guy. He's from Veep. I know her. She's from The Walking Dead. What's her name again? And you know what happens when a producer does that, when they don't spend that type of money on talent, they can take that money and funnel it into the special effects, which in this movie are spectacular. This is a film about tornadoes and people running into tornadoes and getting hit and devastated by tornadoes. We like to call it disaster porn because that's what people are going to see. They're sort of going to get off on watching people's lives get destroyed. And they will see that in spades in this movie, but they will also see terrific renderings of tornadoes. I don't want to call it beautiful because tornadoes are not beautiful. They are a spectacle. They do indeed destroy people's lives. We've unfortunately seen that many times over here in this country. But man, I mean, they do a really great job with these tornadoes. Well, what they don't do a great job with is the story and the script and being original. Everything in this movie is definitely fairly predictable. And the other thing I don't love about it, it's that first-person found footage thing that they have going on in this movie, which works for a grand total of 10 minutes. I mean, you take all the scenes together that work with the found footage thing, and you get about 10 minutes worth of decent scenes. So I can't do better than 2.5 out of 5 stars.
Is it a 3D movie or is it a regular movie?
No, this is a regular movie. I do not believe that it's in 3D.
Yeah, okay.
I don't believe there are 3D showings. I didn't see it in 3D.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. So Into the Storm. Wait for it on DVD. Or
Yes.
Or whatever. All right.
You know, if you want to see those really well-rendered tornadoes destroying things
I've actually gone
on
to
a
movies.
big screen.
I've actually gone to movies just to see like the beautiful scenery and stuff. I mean, that's
No, of course you have. Of course.
Yeah. All right. Moving right along. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles back and better than ever.
Well, you know, the 1990 movie was not particularly good. It sort of, I think, developed a cult-like following. But I loved the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles when I was a kid.
Yes.
And Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, what a ridiculous concept, right? But so endearing that it actually works. But in and of itself, it sounds stupid and silly and over the top. And just because you have a concept that's silly, stupid, and over the top doesn't mean that you need a script to match. And that is the problem with this movie. The Turtles, they look great. Obviously, the technology is terrific. Just like in Into the Storm, the tornadoes look great. These turtles look great. And they certainly have their moments. The chemistry is pretty good. There are some funny lines. There's some funny banter. But there isn't enough of it. And the rest of the script and story is so weak and so dumb that it negates really any of the goodness that these turtles bring. Now, having said that, it's one of those things where the kids who really want to see this movie, they're probably really going to enjoy it. It's just the adults are going to roll their eyes. The problem for this film is that we have all of these movies now that are based on comic books that are so good. I mean, a great example, Guardians of the Galaxy, really a terrific film. And when you hold this movie to that particular standard, this isn't even half of what those movies are. So it's just not, it's not particularly good. It's enjoyable for the kids. So I'm going to give this one 2.5 out of 5 half shells.
I'm no expert on the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
I'm not either.
I might have missed them. I might have been too old or too uncool to like them. But the kids today who would like this, I mean, isn't this more of a, like, isn't there a whole new generation that doesn't know anything about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
No, there's a popular cartoon now.
Oh, okay.
And there still is from what I understand, there's still a comic book as well. So,
and the cartoon,
no, there are a lot of kids that love it. When the screening I went to, I actually went to the premiere, the New York premiere, and there were a lot of little kids there that were excited, and there were a lot of little kids that loved it. I will also tell parents this and give them a warning that this is a pretty violent movie. You don't necessarily see anybody get shot or stabbed. You kind of see someone get stabbed, sort of, I guess. You see a lot of turtles and rats get beat up, and that's disturbing.
Did you see this movie that's getting a lot of attention called Rich Hill? The documentary?
No, I did not.
It's a document. It did well in Sundance.
No, I don't really see a lot of documentaries because a lot of documentaries don't open up nationally, and
right.
I'm told that I need to just see movies that open up nationally.
Right. Yeah. All right. It was a Sundance Film Festival award winning, and it's about a town in southern Missouri. So I thought maybe you got it, but it's getting a lot of attention. So I thought I'd ask my movie guru. All right.
By the way, I want you to know while I'm talking to you live on the air, Frank is sending me negative emails about the Mets.
Frank shouldn't be concentrating on this show and stop bagging on the Mets. David Blaustein, take care of that voice. Yeah,
the Mets do a good enough job of that on their own.
The
Frank.
Mets do take care of themselves that way. Yes, no question about it. By the way, we have Darryl Strawberry coming up a little bit later on.
Oh, that's terrific. I'm sure you're going to talk to him about the Kevin Mitchell incident.
Yeah, how about that story? Darryl Strawberry, a St. Louis resident now.
Mm-hmm.
He lives in St. Louis.
I love Darryl Strawberry.
I love Darryl Strawberry. His wife and Darryl's been great to me. He lives down the street from me. Who would have thought that, Darryl Strawberry would be a friend of mine.
Such an important part of my childhood, and he doesn't even know it. But, I'm sure a lot of people tell him that.
I'm sure McGraw would tell him that today.
Well, David. It's really weird because
let me ask you, McGraw, do you sit on his lap when he comes in studio?
No, I do not.
You sit on his lap and hug him?
I do not sit on his lap. But the first time I met Darryl, I was hugging him like it was really embarrassing. And Albert Pujols came up and he's like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "Leave me alone, Albert. I'm hugging Darryl Strawberry." But you walk down the produce aisle at Schnucks and you're like, "Hey, Darryl, what's up? Good to see you." So I mean, he's he lives in St. Louis. And
14-year-old David Blaustein can't believe that you just said you walk down the aisle at a place called Schnucks and you see Darryl Strawberry. Something really strange about that.
St. Louis is a little slice of heaven. David, take care of the voice. I'll talk to you next week.
Thanks, man. Bye-bye.
8:30, Big 5.